Tencent reported year-over-year increases in both the revenue and profit for the first quarter of its 2019 financial year, though the company's online games business did not share in that growth. For the company as a whole, Tencent reported RMB 85.5 billion, 4 billion in revenue for the first quarter, up 16% year-over-year. Profit for that same period came in at RMB 27.9 billion, 1 billion, a 16% increase year-over-year. Tencent's online games business remained steady for the quarter, seeing RMB 28.5 billion, $1 billion at the quarter, a 1% decrease year-over-year, while cash receipts for the games business increased by 10% from the same period in 2018. The company does note in the report that both cash receipts and reported revenue increased on a quarter-on-quarter basis. Just smartphone games accounted for RMB 21.2 billion, $1 billion at the quarter, down 2% from the preceding year, total in-game releases, though daily active users saw a year-on-year increase. For PC games meanwhile, Tencent reported on RMB 13.8 billion, $2 billion, also down 2% year-over-year, but up 24% from the preceding quarter. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate surpassed 3 million sales in the U.S. during its first 11 days on shelves, according to Nintendo's own internal sales data. That makes Ultimate the fastest-selling Switch game of all time in the States, and also the fastest-selling title in the Super Smash Bros. Franchise. The massive brawler has been performing well in other regions as well, having sold 1.23 million copies in Japan during its launch weekend, another record for the series. Meanwhile, Nintendo also revealed the Switch has been the fastest-selling current-gen console in the U.S. for the past 21 months, having sold more than 8.7 million units in that time. Those hardware sales, however, do not account for the launch of Ultimate, which Nintendo claims will give the Switch extra impetus as the holidays continue. Nintendo claims bumper software sales have invigorated the Switch in its latest financials, but that has not stopped the company from lowering the console's full-year sales forecast. According to its fiscal report for the 9 months ended December 31st, 2018, Nintendo now only expects Switch hardware sales to total 17 million units by the end of the financial year. On March 31st, 2019, it had previously anticipated sales of 20 million units. On the handheld front, Nintendo also reduced its full-year 3DS hardware forecast down to 6 million units from 4 million units. Looking at the company's overall performance, net sales rose by 16.4% year-over-year to 997.3 billion yuan, $9.19 billion, while profits increased by 24.9% to 168.8 billion yuan, $1.55 billion, during the same period. Over the past 9 months, 3 Nintendo Switch titles: Super Mario Party 5, 3 million units; Pokémon Let's Go 10 million units; and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate 12.08 million units, managed to pull in record sales. To help boost Switch hardware, the sales of third-party games also continues to grow steadily, and the Switch now boasts 1 million plus selling titles. Overall, cumulative Switch software sales for the past 9 months clocked in at 19.4 65 million units, an increase of 109% year-over-year. Those burgeoning software sales gave Switch hardware a shot in the arm, with console sales rising by 19.5% year-on-year to 49 million units. In Nintendo's digital business, sales of downloadable titles, download-only software, and add-on content also witnessed growth on the Switch, and combined to bring in digital sales of 84 billion yuan, $775.5 million, a year-over-year increase of 95.1%. Lifetime Switch hardware sales now stand at 27 million units, while lifetime Switch software sales have reached 161 million units. Moving on to the 3DS, the aging handheld saw hardware sales fall by 65% to 31 million units, while software sales also doubled by 65% to 11.08 million units. On the mobile front, Nintendo's smart device-related income rose by 14.7% year-on-year to 33 billion yuan, $306.7 million. The company partly attributes that increase to the launch of Joggly Last, which reportedly grossed around $28 million in its first month on digital shelves. Despite lowering its hardware forecast for both the Switch and 3DS, Nintendo has not revised its overall financial outlook, and still expects to see net sales of 1.2 trillion yuan, $10.6 billion, and profits of 165 billion yuan, $1.46 billion, by the end of the financial year, on March 31st.
2019
Payday toolmaker Starbreeze has applied for an extended reconstruction period, as it looks to find stability after filing for administration. The Stockholm District Court initially approved the company's reconstruction up until March 3,
2019
but Starbreeze is now asking for another 3 months to get its house in order. It's been a rough couple of months for Starbreeze, with Chief Executive Anderson leaving the company back in December after the underwhelming launch of Overkill's The Walking Dead Live Titan by financial straits. The developer-publisher was then raided by Swedish authorities on suspicion of insider trading, resulting in the arrest of one unnamed person. Moving forward, Starbreeze has pledged to carry out the restructuring plan it laid out back in December, and says it will continue to focus on its core business of internal development and publishing. It's also hoping to work with external parties to ensure that non-core operations can be developed in a positive way. GameStop has launched a new program that aims to let the developers using its platform offer financial support to one another via recurring monthly sponsorship payments. At first blush, the GameStop sponsors crowdfunding option is similar to other tiered monthly pledge platforms, like Patreon. Developers are able to set up different levels of support that offer benefits in exchange for meeting a minimum pledge, and those payments are set to repeat on a monthly basis. One notable difference about GitHub's new built-in platform, however, is that the Microsoft-owned company is not taking platform fees out of each pledge, and will cover payment processing fees for GitHub sponsors first year. During that time, the company is also matching all contributions up to $5.000. Currently, only select GitHub users are able to receive sponsorships, though the company plans to roll the service out to all developers on the platform in the future, no matter their discipline. This article is to put down something that I have had come up in conversation multiple times. but that I have yet to put across as clearly as I would like. I believe that we can apply game design principles to things well outside their normal ambit, such as reading. It is axiomatic that game design principles come from underlying truths of people, and so it follows that they apply to more than just video games. The primary form of interactivity while reading is in the mind, digesting the text of a book, actually taking the words on the page and converting them into a full cohesive story in the reader's mind is an interactive activity. It requires effort from the player and is even a developable skill. It is generally accepted that some books are harder than others. But it's not that the physical act of reading changes. There's very little variation in the act of turning a page, and even dealing with obscure words will only require the occasional dictionary reference. However, coming to terms with the ideas of the book can vary greatly in difficulty. One of my favorite lines is from James Joyce's Ulysses. Where Leopold Bloom is introduced with, Mr. Leopold Bloom ate with relish the inner organs of beasts and gallows. This line tripped me up for a moment with the specificity of inner organs. I had not until that moment paid any attention to the standard of eating the flesh over the organs, and the unusual structure of the sentence brought that to the forefront. This slowed me down when reading and forced me to pay greater attention to the book, much in the way that a difficulty spike in a video game forces me to re-engage my brain when I had been on autopilot.